Hello, I'm Archibald Chesterfield III, and today I'm answering the very important question: what is the best Rolex? What is the best sports watch in the Rolex range? And this can be a very tricky thing because Rolex has cornered that niche of the sports wristwatch. In fact, the Rolex Submariner, worn by James Bond in the first Bond movie, advised that it was acceptable to wear a sports watch with a tuxedo. Choosing the right wristwatch is very important, and the right genres is a very, very tricky thing. But going with a sports watch, you really can do no wrong. Quick wristwatch check, Jaeger Ultra Reverso Grand Date. Please enjoy this video where I look at what is the best sports watch in the Rolex range. I'm going to run the credits and sit back and take note. The next question is, what is the best Rolex sports watch? What is the best Rolex? What is the best Rolex sports watch? This is a very interesting question because the sports Rolexes have been so popular for a long, long time. And to be honest with you, in this modern age that we live in, any wristwatch we wear is a dress watch. In the age of iPhones, Apple Watches, and other horological disasters, the fact that we're wearing a mechanical timepiece signifies that we are a trendsetter. So the question is, what is the best Rolex sports watch? And the first thing that has to be said is, it really depends what is important to you. For example, if importance to you is having a dual time zone, you'd have to pick one of the GMT function watches like the GMT Master 2 or the Rolex Explorer 2. If a timer for diving is important, you'd have to go with a Submariner, a Sea Dweller, or a Deep Sea. If a stopwatch feature is important, you'd have to go for a Daytona. What is the best sports watch? Now, for this exercise here, let's just assume that we're a middle-class schmuck and it doesn't really matter. So we will just, for the point of this exercise, we'll just forfeit the fact that we need a second time zone, or we need a stopwatch, or we need a timer. We'll just leave that to the side. We'll just look at the watches and let it decide. What is the best sports watch? And this is a very interesting argument. For a long time, many people have said the greatest sports watch Rolex makes is the Daytona. The Daytona is a unique watch in the sense that for a number of years they've often sold for more than the retail price. Or on the secondary market, they've sold for replacement price. Retail replacement, this is absolutely death-defying. It's an anomaly in the retail world. The Daytona is a great watch. The only criticism of the Daytona is that it lacks a date feature. That's right, so many of the Rolex sports watches give you a date feature. So let's continue with this exercise here. The Daytona itself. A great chronograph, but lacking a date feature. The other thing that makes the Daytona less attractive is the high cost of this piece. There aren't bang per buck second-hand bargains out there. So whilst the Daytona is a lovely watch, it's possibly not the greatest sports watch in the Rolex range for the used buyer. If you're buying new, 100% grab the Daytona if you can find a store that has one available. Okay, let's keep going. The fact of the Daytona not having the date raises a real interesting question, because there are so many Rolex sports watches without a date feature. So let's give them a wide berth, because I think in this modern day age we do need a date function. We've got mortgages to pay, car payments that are due, credit card payments, we've got anniversaries to remember, we've got birthdays to remember, we've got everything to remember. We are time poor, cash rich. This is the society we live in. So I think the best sports watches, to be a contender, it must have a date feature. This knocks out the Milgauss, it knocks out the Rolex Explorer 1, it knocks out the Rolex Submariner no date. You may think I'm crazy for saying this, but let's keep going with this equation. And it also knocks out the Air King, which has a long history of sporting prowess. Okay, the best sports watch, what is it then? Let's take a look at the GMTs. The Rolex GMT, Rolex Greenwich Mean Time 2. The GMT Master 2. This is a great watch, and I gotta be honest with you, a very good contender. This is okay to buy it new or used. It's such a strong watch to have there. So a tick must be given next to the GMT. Next piece is the Rolex Explorer 2. We can get a polar one or we can get a black dial one. Which is better? This is all personal preference. I don't think it's a better. I don't think there is one that is better. It's a case of personal choice. Now, let's look at this equation. I gotta be honest with you, with the Rolex Explorer 2, I would be buying this on the pre-owned market. The Rolex Explorer 2 does not hold its value as well as the GMT Master and represents good second-hand used buying. In fact, the sweet spot in the Rolex used market would be a 40 mil pre 42 mil Rolex Explorer 2. That's right, like a noughties one. From year 2000 onwards would be ideal. That's on the used market, so that's a good buy. Probably not a great buy second-hand. Sorry, not a great buy new. Great buy second-hand, not so good brand new. That leaves us to the divers, the Rolex divers. Now, what do we got here? We've got submariners, we've got deep seas, we've got sea dwellers. They're all here. And I gotta be honest with you, I think for the average man would have to say, yes, the deep sea and the sea dweller are special, but I think the Submariner date is the perfect piece. That's right. It is the perfect piece. In this seminar here, in this lecture series that I'm providing, we can only have one winner, and for the benefit of this video, I'm declaring the hand as the Rolex Submariner date. That's right, the Rolex Submariner date. This is such a useful watch. It can be, this piece itself here can be a man's only piece. So I would have to say first place for the best sports Rolex would be the Rolex Submariner date. The second place would be the Rolex GMT Master 2. And if we're going to have a third place contender, we would have to put the Rolex Daytona in. The Daytona. Even though it may not be such a great buy on the used market, if you're buying new and you have a cachet for chic Italian fashion, this is the ultimate piece you can prounce around in. So there we have it, the ultimate Rolex sports watch. Tell me what you think. Did I get it all wrong? Did I narrow the field down nastily by the exclusion of the date feature? Tell me what you think. Thank you for watching this video. ArchieLuxury signing out. Nice one. Great video. Great choices. The Pontiff has spoken. He has said what the best sports watch is. And I think this is such an interesting point. What is the best sports watch? And I don't know if you can really go that wrong with any of the choices in the Rolex range, whether it's a Submariner, a GMT, an Explorer 2, a Daytona. You really can't go wrong. And with a Rolex, buying the right sports steel Rolex, your money is really, really safe. So why not? Why not buy that Rolex watch? Now that you know what you want, what you really need, and what's going to hold its value, what is stopping you back? And buying pre-owned is the only way to go. I'm Archibald Chesterfield III. This has been What is the Best Rolex? What is the best sports watch in the range? I hope you've enjoyed this video.
We specialize in the repair of Rolex and Patek Philippe watches. We've been doing the same thing for more than 25 years. We have Rolex technicians certified by Rolex who actually used to work for the company for many years, like if we do in the work at the factory. We completely disassemble the watch and we put it to work like brand new condition. When you get the pre-owned watch, it's like if you're getting a brand new unit. The only difference is the money.